Let's go.
Self-voicing enabled. Tuyu. Funya. Tuyu suddenly jumps up in fright as some of the piled up snow falls onto her. Self-voicing disabled.
It seems that having Puyo dig at the base of the snow has caused it to shift under its own weight.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Yuyuna. Ha 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 ha. Are you alright? Tuyu. Tuyu. You. Don't laugh at me, human. Self-voicing disabled.
Sorry. It's just the way you say it. Like that. Wow.
Self-voicing enabled. I dodged at the last second as a snowball narrowly misses my head. Akashi Yuyuna. What are you doing? To you. You could have hit me. Self-voicing disabled.
That's the point, you fool. Push. Wow.
Self-voicing enabled. To use second snowball clips my shoulder, knocking me off balance. Akashi Yuyuna. You little. To you. Self-voicing disabled.
Nya, stop it, human. That's what you get for making fun of. Yeah?
Self-voicing enabled. Without rising to my feet, I quickly ball up some snow and hurl it towards you, just barely missing her torso. Self-voicing enabled. To you. What the heck do you think you're doing? Self-voicing disabled.
Throwing a snowball. What does it look like? You can't do that. I am the one throwing snow at you.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Yuyuna. What are you, a little kid? Akashi Yuyuna. I don't need your permission to defend myself. Self-voicing disabled.
Hup. Yeah, stop that right this instant. Make me grrr. Fine then. We all see how you like it when I throw a snowball at you.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Yuyuna. Well, yeah. That's how this fight started. Whoa. I duck to the side as Fuyu throws another snowball at my head.
The moment I correct
disabled.
my posture, Fuyu has already started to ball up another, and she is getting ready to throw it.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Yuyuna. Shish. Give me a break. How can you do that so quickly? To you, HMPH. Someone who wears those ridiculous things on their hands will never be able to match my speed. Self-voicing disabled.
We all see about that. Hup. Nyahaha. Too slow. Should I give you a handicap, human? Don't underestimate me. Underestimate me.
Self-voicing enabled. Before I realize it, I find myself becoming more and more invested in the outcome of my snowball fight with Fuyu. What starts as a cheeky bit of fun quickly develops into an intense showdown, with both sides putting in far more effort than one would expect.
As
Self-voicing
strange
disabled.
as it may seem, I am actually having fun.
Self-voicing enabled. Spending every day out here, struggling to stay warm and keep my supplies up, I sometimes forget about the upsides of being surrounded by snow. When was the last time I even thought about having a snowball fight, or making snow angels, or engaging in any of those fun yet childish activities?
Maybe
Self-voicing disabled.
this place doesn't have to be the barren wasteland I always think of it as. After all. Yeah, haha, miss me, miss, miss me. Girl, stop moving. Not gonna happen.
Self-voicing enabled. Yu turns around and wiggles her butt in my direction, mocking me. At that moment, I reveal a second snowball hidden behind my back and throw it as quickly as I can.
Yeah,
Self-voicing disabled.
gotcha, gotcha. Oh, did you have to throw it there?
Self-voicing enabled. Yu, the snow is dripping into my pants. It's really cold. Akashi Yu, so wear proper clothing next time. It's not my fault you're dressed like that. Self-voicing disabled.
For you, dance around, trying to sift the snow that has trickled under her clothes.
Self-voicing enabled. A few small pieces of snow fall out, but judging by the expression on her face, there's still more to come. Akashi Yu, chance. Self-voicing disabled.
Wow, what are you doing? Can you can you see that I am preoccupied?
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Yu, that's exactly what makes it such a perfect opportunity. Akashi Yu, hut. Self-voicing disabled.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Make me. Yeah, ha 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 ha. Despite her complaints, Fuyu laughed happily as she dodged my opportunistic on onslaught.
Self-voicing enabled. Dodging while simultaneously removing snow from under her clothes. Yu displays dexterity I could only dream of possessing. Yu, and there, that's the last of it.
You do better prepare yourself now, Akasyuna.
Self-voicing disabled. Self-voicing enabled. Grin from ear to ear, the playful smile adorns Yu's face as she hurriedly begins to create another snowball. No matter what she says, it's clear to me that she's having fun. Self-voicing
Fuyu
disabled.
may be abrasive and direct, but it looks like even she has a fun side.
Self-voicing enabled. She's also pretty cute when she smiles, and it's evident that she cares deeply about Mirari. My first impression of food you might have been wrong after all. Self-voicing disabled.
If Fuyu were just a little bit more honest and, and less defensive, she might actually make a pretty good housemate.
Self-voicing enabled. Upon returning to the cabin, you and I are greeted by the delicious smell of home cooking. Awaiting us in the kitchen is Mary, who seems to have just finished cooking as we return. Self-voicing disabled.
Without wasting any time, Mary greets the two of us, place three bowls on the table, and invites us over to eat. This is so good.
Self-voicing enabled. For you, nothing like a hot meal after playing around in the snow. Mary, playing around. Self-voicing disabled.
I thought the two of you were going to check the terrain.
Self-voicing enabled. For you, chaos. No, I wasn't playing exactly. For you, it was more like a crush match. Self-voicing disabled.
Grudge match between warm. Relax, Mary. That's just who you acting dog.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi we were having a snowball fight. That's MMPH. For you, enough out of you. Self-voicing disabled.
For you covers my mouth in a plaster. Unfortunately for you, she is already for too late. A snowball fight.
Self-voicing enabled. Mary, how marvelous. Oh, how I wish I could have joined you. I pulled Fuyu's hands away from my mouth and smiled wryly at Mary. Self-voicing disabled.
Sorry, we did not mean to go off and have fun without you. Oh no, I am not blaming you.
Self-voicing enabled. Mary, in fact, I'm pleased to see the two of you getting along so well. Self-voicing enabled. For you, getting along. Who's getting along? Self-voicing disabled.
I was simply defending my honor, that's all. You were getting your ass handed to you. Liz, you were begging for mercy, little girl. Blue.
Self-voicing enabled. Fuyu sticks her tongue out towards me, then returns to eating her lunch. Sighing in defeat, I pick up my fork and start to do the same. After taking a
few
self-voicing
bites,
disabled.
I realize that I am being watched.
Self-voicing enabled. As I raise my head, I find that Mary still isn't eating. Instead, she's simply watching me eat with a satisfied look on her face. Akashi, aren't you going to eat as well? Self-voicing disabled.
It can't be that interesting to just watch us eat. Oh, but it is.
Self-voicing enabled. Mary, it brings me great joy to watch others enjoy my cooking. Akashi, is that right? Self-voicing
Do
disabled.
you cook for others often? No, I am afraid not. I've been practicing for years, but it's rare for me to get the chance to feed anyone.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi you. Oh, right. You said something about undergoing training before. Akashi you. But if you never get the opportunity to put your skills to use, what's the point in training? Mirror.
They
Self-voicing
will
disabled.
be put to use. Really? When will that? Second, before I can finish speaking, Fuyu thrust her bowl between Mirari and I.
Self-voicing enabled. As I glance at the bowl, I realize that there's still a small amount of food left on the bottom, and Fuyu is chewing as she speaks. Mirror. Oh, yes. Right away.
Gosh,
Self-voicing
Fuyu,
disabled.
you are never full, are you? Nope. I need all of the energy I can get in order to do my job.
Self-voicing enabled. Fuyu. So feed me well, princess. It's for your own benefit. Mirror. He tilde. Of course. I'll get right on that. Self-voicing disabled.
Watching the conveniently timed interaction between the two, I realized that Mirari doesn't want to talk about the subject we were discussing any further.
Self-voicing enabled. And for my part, I'm happy to drop the matter. I don't need to know every aspect of these girls' lives. If there are things they don't want to tell me, then that's perfectly fine. Self-voicing
As
disabled.
long as the three of us can get along together, the finer the tales can be happily forgotten.
Self-voicing enabled. Shortly after the girls and I finish eating lunch, I sit down with the two of them and face them with a serious look on my face. For all of my optimistic thoughts about the three of us getting along without sweating the details, there is one matter which we must still discuss. Self-voicing disabled.
Alright girls, it's time to talk about your plan. Our plan? Our plan for what? Both of girls tilt their head in unison at my vague question. Your plan to get home.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi you. It may not be possible to get through right now, but you're going to need some kind of idea on how to get back home. Akashi you. I mean, I won't tell you to get out right this minute, but surely you aren't planning on staying here forever. Self-voicing disabled.
Of course not. Who would want to stay in this human cabin?
Self-voicing enabled. You, rest assured, princess. I'll find a way to get us back home in no time. Mirror. Is it really necessary for us to go back? Self-voicing disabled.
Let's see. I only know the one path over to this side of the mountain, but there are sure to be others.
Self-voicing enabled. You, I guess I should start to go out scouting for a little while each day and familiarize myself with the area. You, human, how well do you know this area? Self-voicing
A
disabled.
week ago, I would have said I knew it well, But after the weather, whether we live had decently, I can't really say.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirroring to you, HMM, so the human is useless, as expected. To you, I guess it's up to me after all. Self-voicing
You
disabled.
are quite a rude little girl, you know that?
Self-voicing enabled. Though, I guess I'm oftentimes not much better. Paying no mind to Mary's sullen mood, for you and I continue to talk about the landscape surrounding us, and possible paths back to the girl's den. Unfortunate. Self-voicing disabled.
Unfortunately, our talk is for naught, with so much having changed in such a short period of time. My knowledge of the area is useless, and so is my map. Area, area, area.
Self-voicing enabled. For the time being, all we can do is sit tight. As night rolls around, I decide that it's time to take a bath. Self-voicing disabled.
Thankfully, while drinking water is not exactly abundant out here, there is no shortage of water suitable for bathing.
Self-voicing enabled. Grab some snow, wait for it to melt, filter it, and you have a cold shower. Akashi you alright, I'm going in for a bath. Self-voicing disabled.
Don't do anything bad while I am busy bathing.
Self-voicing enabled. To you, what are you accusing us of? To you, just go and clean yourself already, smelly human. Well, I can't say I didn't ask for that. Having self-voicing disabled.
Having grabbed a change of clothes and a towel, I head into the bedroom.
Self-voicing enabled. I run the water for a few seconds in order to give it time to warm up. While it's doing that, I strip down and prepare to enter the bathtub. Self-voicing disabled.
Ah, a warm bed in the middle of a frozen wasteland.
Self-voicing enabled. As far as guilty pleasures go, this one is pretty hard to beat. I sink into the bathtub and let out a deep sigh as the water slowly covers more and more of my body. Once the water is up to my breasts, I turn the tap off and lay back. HMM. Self-voicing disabled.
Come to think of it, I wonder if the wolf girls use bed like this.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari seems to know her way around a house, so it wouldn't surprise me if she did. To you, on the other hand, I could totally see her licking herself clean in the middle of the living room. Self-voicing disabled.
No, 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 do not picture that. Don't picture either of those things.
Self-voicing enabled. Those girls are guests in this house. I can't be thinking of them that way. My expression falls as I think about the girls' situation. Self-voicing disabled.
While I am willing to let them stay with me if it's just for a little while, I understand that I am ultimately doing them no favors.
Self-voicing enabled. If I kick them out now, they'll likely freeze to death or die of starvation. But if I let them stay too long, they'll wind up getting used to life here, and they'll become unable to rejoin their pack. Self-voicing
This
disabled.
is a surprisingly delicate matter. Squeak. Hum. Before I can sing to reply into my own talk, an unexpected sound reached my ears.
Self-voicing enabled. As I turn to see what caused the disturbance, what I find is Akashi the mirror. Self-voicing disabled.
Mirroring averts her gaze as she walked towards me, clad in nothing but a towel.
Self-voicing enabled. Instinctively, I covered my breasts and turned away in a flurry. Even if we're both girls, it's still embarrassing to have my body be seen like this. However, as Mirari draws closer, I find myself stealing glances at her. Self-voicing disabled.
Mirroring, what are you doing in here?
Self-voicing disabled. Self-voicing enabled. Akashi if you want to take a bath, you can do so after I finish. I lean forward in order to cover up as Mirari continues to come closer. Self-voicing
The
disabled.
moment I do, Mirroring slipped into the bathtub behind me, resting her soft body against my back. Mirroring, I know this is not much, but please. Finally, Mirroring speaks.
Self-voicing enabled. The next moment, she pulls her body back, and I can instead feel her delicate hands gently rubbing my back. Mirari, I do not possess your strength, Akashi nor do I share for you's wit or courage. Self-voicing disabled.
I don't know this side of the mountain well. Even if I did want to go back home, I would not be of much help.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, it seems like, no matter what I do, I'm just a nuisance. As Mirari voices her frustration, she begins to rub harder. Self-voicing disabled.
That is why, if there's anything I can do, please don't hesitate to ask.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, cooking, cleaning, washing your body for you. If it's something that's within my power, I'll do it. Akashi Mirari. Self-voicing disabled.
My heart sinks as I contemplate Mary's words.
Self-voicing enabled. Even without knowing the full story behind Mirari's current situation, I'm aware of just how powerless she feels. In the short time that she's been here, all I've heard from Mirari is how she appreciates what I've done for her, and how she doesn't want to leave. Self-voicing disabled.
She really is not making it easy for me to evict her.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi you Mirari, I'm glad you feel that way, but you really don't need to go this far. Mirari, go this far. Self-voicing disabled.
I don't understand. All I am doing is washing your back.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, is that strange? For you and I wash one another all the time. Akashi you yes, but you've known each other for a long time. And I. Self-voicing
This
disabled.
kind of thing is, hum, Mary tilts her head with a smile on her face.
Self-voicing enabled. It seems that bathing with a near stranger isn't as extreme of an act for this wolf girl as it is for me. Maybe bathing together is some kind of half-wolf custom. Self-voicing disabled.
Just because it's not common for humans, that doesn't mean there is something weird about it.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi you sigh. Alright. Do as you please. Mirari, ah. Yes. Thank you very much. Self-voicing disabled.
No, you really don't need to go so far as to thank me.
Self-voicing enabled. Smiling from ear to ear, Mirari picks up a bar of soap, lathers her hands, and begins to rub my back once more. While she's rubbing my back with her bare hands, I occasionally feel something else slap against my back. Self-voicing disabled.
Heavy but soft. The feeling only lasts for an instant, but it seems like every few seconds the sensation reappears once more.
Self-voicing enabled. This is no good. She's trusting me here, and I'm getting turned on. I've got to get a grip and distract myself. Self-voicing disabled.
So, Mary, how's life with the rest of your pack? Hum. Oh, hum. It's fine, I guess. Ignoring my question, Mary proceeds to move to the front of my body. Before I can stop her, the raw material of the sponge carries over my penis. Yeah,
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, what is it? I've never heard you crying out like that. Akashi you and nothing.
painfully embarrassed at my
Self-voicing disabled.
high-pitched shriek. Earlier, I looked down as Mary resumed washing my front.
Self-voicing enabled. Grave accent. If this continues, I grave accent. Akashi you you and for you seem pretty close. Self-voicing disabled.
Have you been friends since childhood? In a way. Damn it, Mary, I am trying to strike up a conversation here.
Self-voicing enabled. For whose sake do you think I'm asking these questions? Doing my best to suppress my growing desires, I pitch a few more topics, all of which Mirari shoots down. Self-voicing disabled.
thankfully before long. Okay, that ought to do it. You are done? Uha. Your back and shoulder are all nice and clean. All that's left now is the front. Mary points between my legs. Oh right, let me just... Wait, what? You want me to get up and move to your front? Or would you like to turn around?
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Uni. I'd like to know what the hell's going on. I quickly cover my crotch with my hands as Mirari starts to squirm around behind my back. Mirari, what are you doing? Akashi Uni. I can't wash your front like this. Self-voicing disabled.
You don't need to. Really? You live done enough already. I'll do the front myself. Okay? Mary shake her hand. Shake her head. That won't do. I said that I would wash you. Did I not? I can't just stop halfway through. That's mine.
Self-voicing enabled. Akashi Uni. You shouldn't touch me there unless you're... Mirari, unless I'm... What? Self-voicing disabled.
I don't know how to respond. Mirari, innocence is just too much for me to bear. How could I possibly convey to this girl the magnitude of what she is just propose?
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, sigh. Fine. I understand. Mirari, I'll give up on trying to wash your front. For now. Self-voicing disabled.
I breathe a sigh of relief as Mary takes pity on my pure soul.
Self-voicing enabled. Mirari, now that I'm done washing you, it's your turn to do me. Akashi Uni. Her. I turn. Self-voicing disabled.
I turn around to find Mary exposing her bare back to me.
Self-voicing enabled. It seems that it is time for me to return Mirari's favor by washing her back, just as she washed mine. So okay, I can't do this. Self-voicing disabled.
I am just washing her back. That's all. There is nothing sexual about this.
Self-voicing enabled. Besides, I've seen Mirari's naked body before. This won't be any different than the time when I dressed her. I'll grab some soap, wash Mirari's back, and that will be the end of it.
Setting my pen into motion,
disabled.
I rub a bar of soap between my hands, pat it back down, then place my hand on Mirari's shoulder. Kia, sorry, I was just... No, it's okay. You are just doing what I asked you to. Itu. I apologize for scaring you. I was just surprised.
Self-voicing enabled. I place my hand on Mirari's shoulder once more. Mirari shakes slightly, but doesn't yelp or move away. Self-voicing disabled.
Taking a deep breath, she tries her best to remain calm as I move my hand lower down her back.
Self-voicing enabled. My hands trembled as I caressed her back, and I continue to grow more conscious of the feeling being transmitted back to me. Mirari's soft skin, which is far more delicate than my own, turns faintly white as my fingers press into her skin. Self-voicing disabled.
That feels good. You can press a little harder. Don't worry, I am taller than I look.
Self-voicing enabled. Encouraged, I press the bar of soap into her smooth skin until I've worked up the lather. Then I begin to clean her with a sponge. I can't bring myself to look at Mirari while I do this. Self-voicing disabled.
This is bad. If I keep going like this, I am not gonna be able to justify this as friendly female skinship.
Self-voicing enabled. Looking away, I lean forward to clean her as fast as possible, while trying to distract myself from my wandering mind. Mirari, NGH. Self-voicing disabled.
Sorry, am I pressing too hard after all? It's not that. It's I can feel your chest on my back. Goodbye.